Well, the story actually started last Sunday when me and a group of my friends headed up to the Pfeifferhorn just on a day off and just to get out. Nice social day. Headed up to the summit ridge at the top of Red Pine and going to a fairly popular peak that people like to do in the winter. Involves a little bit of mountaineering, but it's generally pretty safe if you know what you're doing. Anyway, headed on up there, and lots of wind drifting that has occurred in the previous week with the sun baking that south-facing slope. We decided not to get out on that slope, stick to the rocks, which made it a little bit more challenging. And then on the way down, the problem was after we were skiing down in the bowl, I got back to the car and noticed my ice axe was gone. So that was a good excuse to get back up there today on Wednesday on my field day, because I wanted to take a look at what the snow surface conditions were, because the big cold front was coming in Wednesday night, and there it is on the horizon out on the West Desert, marching inexorably towards me. Anyway, most of the snow surface is pretty roughed up from the warm weather over the past few days. The snow is fairly damp down low and pretty roughed up, so in theory the snow should stick to it pretty well. Wind drifting across the trail is a good telltale sign that there's a little bit of wind slab action going on before the storm comes in. But for the most part, most of the snow is pretty roughed up, and in theory things should bond pretty well. Cold front inexorably marching in closer and closer. Anyway, mapping the snow surface conditions before the storm is very important. And of course, on my way down, I found my trusty ice axe. I was so happy. It's like an old friend. It's been many places with me. Anyway, mapping out the snow surface conditions, this is what I was finding. North, south, east, west, and the middle is the top of the mountain. And so damp snow down low, this is a good way to map out what's going on. So down below about, 7,000 feet or something like that, fairly damp snow. And sun crust on most of the other slopes that is fairly roughed up right now, so it should bond pretty well when the new storm comes in. Up high is all really wind blasted snow from last week, so completely wind scoured or wind deposited, but fairly stable old hard wind slabs. And then the only place there was soft settled powder was on the north facing slopes and the wind and sun sheltered slopes, and some faceted snow there, very fine grained, not too weak facets, so that might produce some more persistent instability after the storm comes in. So that might be one place to watch out for. But most of the other slopes, in theory, it should bond fairly well. Anyway, bottom line is I like to get out before the storm to see what kind of snow surface conditions exist before the new snow comes in.